Welcome to episode 32 of Sean's Take on Asia, where we touch on the latest news on digital asset development and policy updates. This was a relatively light week in terms of news, so I want to touch on a topic that I've been frequently asked during interviews and panels. That is, what makes you bullish in crypto development in Asia, and why this user adoption seems higher than other regions? For that, we have to look across three dimensions: demographics, regional trade, and policy maturity. So, first on demographics. Asia's population is roughly equivalent to 60% of the total world population. So, from purely a numbers perspective, the user count will be comparatively high versus other regions. And that is reflective in this chart from Cointelegraph, showing Asia with 160 million crypto users compared to 28 million in North America and 38 million in Europe. More importantly, the median age across Asia is 31.9 years, with a high degree of digital literacy and mobile connectivity. What that means is that digital forms of payment methods is very commonplace across the region, and wallet-based expenditure, not card-based, is widely adopted. Keep in mind also that some of these countries in Asia have 60 to 70% unbanked populations, so going full digital and seeking alternative financial services such as DeFi, play to earn, and stablecoin payments are gaining momentum, especially in ASEAN countries. There's also no shortage of blockchain and tech talent, given Asia has tremendous engineering resources pools in India, China, and others. Second, on regional trade. Did you know what is the largest free trade agreement outside of the World Trade Organization? It was meant to be the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPP, a proposed trade agreement including the United States, but not including China. TPP was the centerpiece of the US President Obama's strategic pivot to Asia, though President Trump withdrew it in 2017 after taking office. RCEP, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, signed in 2020, became the world's largest regional trade agreement. As you can see from this chart, RCEP covers 2.8 billion of the world's population and 28% of global GDP. So you might be thinking, what does this have to do with crypto? Well, while the US dollar continues to be the global trade currency within the SWIFT network, the strength of the dollar, along with the direction of US monetary policies, is driving Asia more towards alternative payments and settlement rails, including the use of US dollar-based stablecoin like USDC and USDT. But the more interesting development is the shift towards local currency-backed digital currencies, which is why there are more CBDC pilots in Asia than most other regions and established regulated stablecoin frameworks. The ability to directly exchange between one local currency to another without going through the US dollar rails can have huge implications, especially when incorporated into regional trade agreements like RCEP. Lastly, on policy maturity, crypto regulations in Asia fall across a spectrum. While many jurisdictions have paved the way for adoption, others have introduced legislation to restrict or even ban due to fraud and money laundering risks. With that said, many Asian countries have accelerated the enactment of crypto policies and guidelines. Standing out in front are progressive jurisdictions in Japan, Singapore, and Hong Kong in providing clarity for both crypto assets and stablecoins, as well as visible government support in promoting Web3 development. South Korea, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Taiwan have all announced their push for regulatory guidelines in this calendar year. In my description with regional regulators, you can tell they're working closely with each other to ensure consistency and clarity while avoiding regulatory arbitrage from market participants. So, going back to the original question, why am I bullish on Asia crypto developments and why the massive user adoption in this region? Demographics, regional trade, and policy maturity. These are my high level thoughts. What do you think? Welcome any comments below. That's all for the week ending May 3rd. Until next time, keep innovating and keep demonstrating the transformational promise of Web3.